It can be hard to start a new habit. We're very set in our ways and we're habitual creatures by nature. Listen, I understand. I wake up every morning. I immediately go drink a glass of water, have a cup of coffee, and then just click into the pattern of my day. I've recently been wanting to go for a walk every morning. I want to wake up and take my dog for a walk before I do anything else. And even though this has been an intention in my heart and in my mind, it feels like the morning comes, I click into my other habits, and I completely forget that I want to go on that walk. So in this episode, we're going to talk about changing your habits. Some of the things I've learned along my healing journey and my leadership journey that have helped me in figuring out how to do it, how to change a habit when it's really important to me. Let's dive into it. Before we get into the episode today, I'd like to tell you about a very special virtual event I have coming up. Have you ever felt like there's something you're meant to be doing with your life? Maybe you have a divine purpose or a calling, but you don't quite have the clarity around what it is. Perhaps you've been through difficult times and you've experienced great adversity. If you're anything like me, maybe you felt frustrated or lost, but you know you would not have gone through these great challenges if there wasn't a bigger plan for you, something that your inner spiritual guidance system has always known for you. Maybe you were even born for it, but you just need to awaken to the truth, to see clearly the path, to know where to focus your energy. Well, this is where we can harness the power of blue lotus, the essential oil, blue lotus, the plant, and meditation, journaling, intention setting, really asking the universe, your higher power, the divine, to help you awaken to this true calling. Up until now, it has been very difficult to get pure blue lotus. But the company, the essential oil company I work with, has found a way. And starting October 1st, you're going to be able to purchase your own bottle of the magical, mystical blue lotus. So I decided it's a perfect time for me to offer an immersive and transformative program. We are going to do a 21-day collective challenge where we anoint ourselves daily with blue lotus. We set the intention that we're going to awaken to our true divine calling, and we will incorporate meditation and journaling, and we'll even have a weekly Zoom session where we can dive deeper into these experiences. If that sounds like something you would love to participate in, this is a completely free program as long as you have your own bottle of blue lotus. So swipe up in the show notes or go to jasmineandjuniper.com/connect. You can register for the program. It's going to be starting towards the end of October. If you have a doTERRA account, order your blue lotus on October 1st or sometime before the program starts. If you don't have a doTERRA account, reach out to me. I will help you get one. You can get blue lotus at wholesale pricing. And then we can all dive into this magical, mystical, beautiful journey of awakening to our divine purpose with the help of the blue lotus flower. I can't wait to see you there, and let's get back to the episode. Okay, so first and foremost, I always start with the why. If you want something bad enough and you know why you want it, and the not doing the thing, if you can identify what the downside of that is and it's painful enough or just not something that you want enough, then you will find that internal motivation. But if you don't have a reason to do it that is inspiring or motivating, you're less likely to actually change the habit. So let's talk about my desire to wake up and go for a walk every morning. The way that I touch into the why is I first ask myself, What's in it for me? What am I going to get out of it? So I'm going to get exercise. I'm going to have alone time. I'm going to connect with nature. I'm going to connect with my dog. I know I'm going to feel better because I will have inserted something into my self-care bank that's going to fill me up. My body's probably going to feel good because I'm getting exercise. I'm going to keep my cardiovascular health up to par, and that is going to make me live longer. And that is important to me because I have these young children and I decided to be a mom a little bit older, and I am definitely wanting to spend every moment I can with them. Okay, so I have just taken myself on a rampage of why it is important to me to walk every morning. And all those motivating factors are good. They're juicy. They get me going. They get me like, oh yeah, I want to walk. But I haven't touched into the pain of not doing it. So now I have to ask myself, well, if this doesn't change, if you never get yourself to go on this walk in the morning with your dog and you don't get to benefit from all the positive attributes that you've listed, like you don't get the exercise, your cardiovascular health is not as great, you're not feeling grounded, you don't get alone time, you don't get time with your dog, you don't get time with your nature. What negative impact is that going to have on your life? So it's going to make me not a good mom because I'm going to be short-tempered. It's going to make it so that I'm not as great of a leader in my business because I wouldn't have been grounded and connected. It's going to hurt my health because I'm not getting exercise. And the very worst, like the scariest thing for me is if I don't have good cardiovascular health and I'm not getting some kind of movement every day, that could actually shorten my lifespan, which means less time on the planet with my babies. And oh my gosh, once I touch into that pain point, I'm like, okay, I'm going to move mountains to make sure that I go on this walk in the morning. But that's only the first step, right? We've touched into the why. We've identified the pain point, the motivating factor that makes it important to me, makes it like 10 out of 10, I need to make this happen. Now we have to understand that humans are habitual, and I have a habit of waking up in the morning, drinking my water, drinking my coffee, and then jumping into my day. So if I want to start a new habit, I'm going to have some sort of trigger and some sort of pleasure trigger right in the morning. Something that reminds me, first of all, what my intention is and why it's my intention. So an example of that could be I could hang my dog's leash. My dog doesn't use a leash, so I don't think that'll work. But that's a good example for you. I'm going to hang my dog's leash on the wall next to a picture of my children. And maybe even a Post-it note that says, walking is good for your health. Walking makes you live longer. Walking makes you a better mom. So in the morning, I'm immediately triggered into that. And then if I pair that with some kind of reward, some kind of pleasure, like maybe, oh, on my walk, I get to listen to one of my favorite podcasts or my favorite Spotify station, or maybe on my walk, I get on the phone and I talk to a friend, or maybe on my walk, I go for a walk with a friend. Or here's where you can use aromatherapy. I can pick an oil that anchors me into that desire and that feeling, and I can smell it first thing in the morning. And then that will start to create a neural pathway that gets me in the flow of going on that walk. So you can do this habit changing formula with anything. The third thing that I will add is habit stacking. So if you want to bring a new habit into your life, if you can stack it with another habit, it's going to make it more likely. So I told you I have that drink my water, drink my coffee, and then get on with my day. So I might add something like, I can't do this because I live rural, but if you lived in town, you could add going and getting a cup of coffee at your coffee shop that happens to be a half-mile walk. In my case, maybe what I do is I put my little triggers, right? My like picture or my Post-it note or my dog's leash right by my water and my coffee station. And I take my coffee in a to-go mug. And instead of drinking my coffee while I'm sitting on the couch, scrolling, or I'm making breakfast for my kids, I take my coffee on my walk with me. Since I can't walk to a coffee shop, that would be really cool. So that's habit stacking. So think about that in your life. What's a new habit you would like to start? And this is my 3-part formula for it. First, identify why, especially the pain point. What is the negative thing that will happen if you do not start this new habit? Why is it important to you? Number 2, set yourself up in the morning for a trigger to remind you of your intention and even have some kind of reward connected to it. Number 3, habit stack. Stack it with something that is already a really powerful habit in your life, like you wake up every morning and do it, or you do this every day before bed, or you do this every day after work, and stack your new habit with that thing. This is a great formula for success. You are going to be so much better at starting and keeping new habits if you try this formula. Okay, I'll talk to you next time.